Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video over the snorkel install, and it's getting kind of late on, so this may be a 2-day deal. But so what we're looking at right now is the stock airbox on the 570. So all you have to do is pull off your normal riser snorkel that comes stock. Just pull that off, and it comes with this plate. It is a metal plate that you put your hoses on. And so right now I haven't run a piece of silicone to make a seal or anything, but what I've done is went ahead and put the hoses on because we're just trying to figure out how to run them. I do have a wild boar radiator kit coming in, so we're actually just going to cut the holes right here in this box, just get the hoses in the box for right now, and then I'll probably put the radiator kit on and then come back to the snorkels and go ahead and get my risers and all figured out. Because I really want to do, you don't see a lot of Sportsmans that have the risers that come over the pods like the high lifters, so we're going to try and go for something like that, but we may just have to go beside the rad kit, so we'll see. But right now, this is kind of how we've got them run. So like what we're thinking is to run one above the gear shift and one through it like that on this side. And I got this kit, this is a triangle ATV kit, but I got this kit off eBay. And I have to say, I was kind of a little upset when I got this plate because I went ahead and run a bit of silicone around it because I just took for granted that it would bolt right up and fit. And it didn't, so I had to go size up bigger on the holes right here for the factory screws and drill it out. Kind of irritated me, but it's whatever. And this should be a 90 rather than straight up, but it is what it is. When you put the back plastic, I have the back plastic off just to make it easier to do everything right now, because you have to pull your airbox and all that. But I think there's 8 or 10 bolts for the back plastic, so I wasn't too worried about it. But so what we're gonna do for this is just we're gonna tuck it between the plastics like that and have it run like that. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's a kit we got, and so that's one we're gonna use. We're gonna run these up, and like I said, we're just gonna cut a hole about right there, just big enough to get the hoses in for right now. But I'll see y'all when we get started. You're already getting the drum out. Oh, shall brew, boy. All right, so I just want to put it in the video right here. Dustin not only about lost his hand once, but twice. And don't do that at home, kids.
You know that Rugrats thing was like, that's what it sounded like.
All right guys, so what Dustin is doing right now, he's running a loop system, and the reason why you do this with the crankcase vent is to make sure that if your airbox ever did get full of water, or your engine intake brought in water, that it would not get in your engine oil. So how the company that I got this from say to run it is to run it 2 circles. First one like this under the snorkels. Second one's going to be under the throttle body itself. Which Dustin's undone.
Alright, first we went under the snorkels. And the next one he went under the whole deal.
Alright guys, so if I played some footage there real quick, I'm going to try and get out of the light. But this little barb I put on top here is going for your fuel vent line. It's for the gas tank vent line. And as some of y'all may know, there is a recall on the vent line for the gas tank. So we're going to have to do a little modifying on that, because they take a clear line that was on the top of the gas tank and run up in the pod. They actually rerouted the line to where it actually comes down into a, right here is actually it. It comes down in the front right here. But what we're gonna have to do is do some reconfiguring on that. So give us just a second to get that figured out. But we also took, there's a duck bill in here. It's hard to see, but it's actually for your crankcase breather. Right there, and we'll try and light it up a little bit. But it's for your crankcase breather. We took and put a little silicone around it, and that's gonna be connecting to our loop here to make sure that it's still gonna be watertight. But just a second. But so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the fuel line that was in, rerouted to the front frame to drip down there. If there's any excess or blow by, whatever you want to call it, we're going to be routing that back to the top of the pod here. And we're also going to be sealing up, if you have this folder and actually did not know it, there's a weep hole on the back of the speedometer. And you want to take some silicone if you're trying to waterproof it, and go ahead and cover up that weep hole with some silicone to make sure that you don't get any condensation in your gauge. Alright guys, so I'm going to bring this pod right here. I want to try and get it in the light here. I want to show you, you see this little weep hole right here? This is what I was talking about. You need to put some silicone on if you're trying to waterproof the 570s. But this should be, I assume this is the same on the square gauges, because I know the newer 570s are coming with them. That could be different. You may want to double check on that if you have a newer model 570, but mine is a 2014. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of. And Dustin right now is routing the fuel line back up there. We'll have to get some wire ties and tidy that up. But what we're going to do, just like that. Alright, so what we got going on is we're doing a radiator relocation. All we want to run through real quick is what all we had to take off. So 2 bolts in the bottom here, 2 bolts on the top, take that out. There's going to be 2 bolts in the radiator, and it's just like a car radiator with pins in the bottom, pulls up. Now we're going to go ahead and unhook the hoses and pull the radiator out. We're going to get started with the relocation. Be back with you here in a second. guys, so what Dustin just did there is he took the drill and he cut this little piece, little ridge out. And so this is a support for holding the radiator relocation kit. So bolts go through the top and come into the bottom nut and washer. This is to give it a little bit of rigidity, make sure it don't wobble around. And so the only thing we had to modify just that ridge in the box just a little bit for where I wanted to mount it. But other than that, things are going good. All right, guys, so what we got going on is we actually drilled 2 holes in the bottom of the rack here. And what that is for, there and there, is to run your radiator hoses to the bottom and run that second one in the same spot. But you're actually going to run it up to the back, and then we're going to handle the heat sensor for the fan. But what we're doing right now is it actually comes with these barbs right here. And we're going to use the factory hose clamps on the back right there, and then we're going to use the hose clamps they send to put the extension hose on. And then we're going to relocate our top right there in our reservoir bottle, and we'll have it just about knocked out. And we did take all this off, and you may not necessarily have to, but it did make everything a lot easier getting the radiator out and doing everything. But we're almost there. Nothing crazy, like I said. Drill out the holes right here and mount this, put this all together. The radiator goes in like that, holds it. Still got the functionality of the fan on the back. All right, guys, so we did get the rad kit finished up, as you can see. So what we did, the vent line they sent for the reservoir bottle was not actually long enough. And instead of going into the store and buying more vent line, all we did is relocate the reservoir right here. So we got that up there. Right now I'm trying to burp the system. I've got the wheeler parked on a hill, and I'm trying to let it cycle to the thermostat a couple times, drain some fluid, just to burp the system. But we do have the snorkels. We use PVC glue. We've got them mounted up. Everything's looking good. This is just a view from right here. Like I said, got the top off, trying to burp the system, but everything's good on the wild boar. No problems. The only problem I did have is I put a little too many ugga-duggas right here and broke a bolt, but we had another one, throw right in, no big deal. So how this actually works is normal car pins, how they sit, and they send you these spacers right here, your bolts on the nut on the bottom, they bolt right up, but you'll have little barb fittings that your hoses go into. You drill a hole in your rack, let your hoses go through. We actually had to do 2 small holes just for the fact that this radiator hose was in a little bit of a kink just where we drilled it. So we tried to drill it where there's no ridges on the bottom of the box. But other than that, we didn't really have too many problems. Everything went back together good, and she's doing good so far. I'm gonna try and get a little bit of riding in, maybe do a little bit of waterproof testing. We'll see how she looks.